let's talk a little bit about you and your early life. I mean,
Okay.
where did this guitar playing and love for the blues come from? You know, was it something that started really young, or did you come to it later?
Well, the this style, the Delta style, I was probably in my 40s when I first picked up a slide and started to, begin to make an effort at playing it. And um, luckily, the slide, it works for me. I know many guys that and players that have tried to do slide, and it just doesn't feel right to them. You know, they can't get it. But luckily for me, it was a happy circumstance that it fit for me. So really, the Delta stuff and the slide stuff in my 40s. I had my first K guitar, back in many eons ago in the age of the dinosaurs. From I forget if K was from Sears or Montgomery Ward or someplace, and it was a horrible guitar. But I started, it was in ninth grade or something, so I started playing it. But the real love of the blues, probably the whole thing in the 60s. I'm a baby boomer, and the whole, I had mentioned earlier, bands like Cream and the Doors and Led Zeppelin, all of them were, and the Rolling Stones, all of them were influenced by Canned Heat, Savoy Brown, all of them. So I love the lyrics, the blues lyrics, and the great blues masters, and also players like Stevie Ray Vaughan and all of those kind of players too, Buddy Guy and Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and so on and so on. So blues, it just resonates for me. It's just truthful to me. I know they say about country music, it's three chords and the truth. Well, it's pretty much the same thing with the blues. And there's a lot of the country stuff's pretty bluesy anyway, but Hank Williams and that. But so that's how I got my love of the blues going, and just started
Were you a
messing.
record shop guy? You know, were you
Oh yeah,
looking for that rare pressing of something that no one had heard in a
absolutely.
while?
Yeah, 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 and finding like wow, obscure stuff, and then um, some of the players. I was chatting with you before we get going about the players like Sunhouse, for example, or Skip James, that were rediscovered. They had been popular in the 20s and 30s and made race records, they were called, and targeted the black audience. And so those records are still around. So the folkies in Greenwich Village in the 60s discovered the records, and then went and found some of the players like Sunhouse and Mississippi John Hurt and Booker White and so on and so on. So
My question is about that wonderful guitar you've got tonight. Tell us about
okay, sure.
it.
Um, this is a steel body national guitar, and this one is not one from the 30s. They were invented in the 20s and 30s, and underneath this, but anyway, this is from San Obispo, California, is where the company is now. And it has a lineage directly back to the original inventors of the resonator. One of the Doprea brothers started a company out in California, and mentored and trained the guys out there to make these. And he then passed away. And so they've been putting them out, and they're just tremendous instruments. They make them out of brass and also wooden body ones. This one's steel. And the whole point of the resonator is underneath this plate, this cover plate is a very thin aluminum cone. It's like a speaker cone, and it vibrates. So when you strike the strings, you get a tremendous, and it's unique and wonderful sound, and that's the resonator. A lot of the early bluesmen liked them because they were playing in roadhouse houses, and besides the raspy, bluesy quality of it, it had a lot of punch to get in, because there weren't really amplifiers or anything. There might have been some little weak ones, and pickups would have been weak, and so that's where it came from. That's the origin of it. Do an original for you. This is called Desert. One of my originals called Desert Rose. It's again on the second CD of mine.